to Finding Calm in the Chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday and another edition of Finding Calm in the Chaos. I'm Denise. It's my podcast. Whispering today because these allergies are doing a number on my voice, and so you get this cute little raspy quiet Denise today. I'm not going to be quiet, you know that, but today we are talking about being made of kindness. And so a couple years ago, it's crazy because it's a couple years ago, and that's just mind-blowing in itself. But friends, this summer, in a couple months, I am coming up on the 2-year anniversary of the Finding Calm in the Chaos podcast. It is insane that I have just had the listening view, the listening downloads and all of that to even be able to continue this long is just like a dream come true. And so I thank each and every one of you for that, because without a listening audience, I have nobody. So, and just I love you all. I can't even talk about it more. I'll probably cry. We'll save that for the anniversary show. But leading with kindness is basically my life purpose that I picked, because so many people, my whole podcast is based on that. There are everyday things. People are not perfect. We live in a society of such imperfection, yet we live drawn to social media, which basically only highlights staged perfection. And so we've created this dynamic of an imperfect world being modeled after a staged world. And it's really doing a number on us. Okay. It really is. And so we need to start doing something about that. And I will say that I'll be 55 this year, and I have never felt more comfortable in my life, in myself, as a mom, as a wife, in my finances, with my friends, with my family, the choices that I've made. And I think that a lot of that, now that I'm looking back at things and watching this growth, this like journey through leading with kindness, how that has literally changed me. Just leading with kindness. It changed me, and in turn had changed my life, is changing my life. It continues to do so every day. And it's actually quite miraculous. And so I was, obviously, I saw something on social media, and nobody's like, I've tried to find who said this. I've tried to find, it's not my words. That's all I know. But they were very profound. And I really felt that like my brain literally just stopped and was like, wait, what? Like it kind of clarified. It was like being in a smoky room and just having anybody like suck all that smoke out. And then you finally see like the room clearly. It is crazy how profound and just like life altering this little paragraph was. So again, I tried to find out who did this, and it's just a copy of a copy. It looks like lots of people were posting it at one point back in the day. I don't even know when this was, because I save all the stuff ahead of time, guys, that reach out to me, that resonate to me online. And then I just see like, what can I use? Like, what's going on in my life that really resonated with. And then I talk about that, because life isn't all about a bed of roses. There's a lot of thorns with roses. And we spend so much time worrying about being not imperfect, when in all reality, we're all so imperfect. We're perfectly imperfect. And I've talked about that before. And if we just embrace the reality of the situation and the reality of our lives and the reality of our beauty, I'm telling you, I just think that life is so much easier when you do this. I just have gotten so clear in my path. And, I think a lot of that personally has to do with my spiritual journey as well. But, if that's not your thing, that's cool too, right? That's the part you don't have to listen to. But I'm going to read these words, which are not mine, but I'm going to just read it all at once. and then kind of talk about the different points in this that really resonated with me and that really like I was digging into, and I was like, wow, like I need to talk about this. I can't be the only person who feels this way. So here we go. The kindest people are not born that way. They're made. They are the souls that have experienced much at the hands of life. They are the ones who have dug themselves out of the dark, who have fought to turn every loss into a lesson. The kindest people do not just exist. They choose to soften where circumstances have tried to harden them. They choose to believe in goodness because they have seen firsthand why compassion is so necessary. They have seen firsthand why tenderness is so important in this world. Can I get an amen? Like, wow. I'm sorry. This is just like, it makes me almost have tears in my eyes. It is that, look, it's choking me up. It is really amazing, you guys, the depth of what those words mean, because it's true. So let's break it down a little. I used to be a super mean, miserable person. It's not a lie. Everyone's like, no, Denise, I don't see that. Oh, you might not. You didn't know me. I was. Okay. And so I think that we really need to talk about how I had these transgressions and I came from them, right? We all have these, but I'm going to talk about mine. And it says, I'm going to dissect this now. It says the kindest people are not born that way. They're made. Lord knows that's true. I mean, think about it. I am the adult child of an alcoholic. I am also a recovering alcoholic. And I'm also the survivor of a terminal cancer, right? I am also survived in the depths of my addiction. I did a jail stint. Everyone's always like, where'd you go to prison? I didn't go to prison. I went to a county jail and it was for 90 days. Okay. But it was a result of my addiction. Although there are super awesome stories that went out around that were way more interesting than why I actually did. So, you are born that way. They're not born that way. They're made. So my life of all of these trials and tribulations made me find this path to lead with kindness. And I was like, wow, like boing, like it just hit you, right? They are the souls that have experienced much at the hand of life. Like, I mean, I used to sit there and think to myself, like, what more do you think I can handle? And all of a sudden life was like, here you go. Since you asked. And I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, I do believe, like, I don't ever want to take back any trial, bad, up, down, super low, super duper low. I don't want to take any of those experiences back in my life because they brought me and gave me the perspective that I have today. They gave me the experience to know what I don't want in life and what I do want in life. And they really help you kind of steer your way into where you want to be. Sometimes you don't learn, and that's okay too. I didn't learn twice. Third time I got it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think we beat ourselves too much over our life lessons and not really, instead of analyzing why we made the mistake, accepting we made the mistake and using it as a step to move forward. I think more of us should do that. I know I needed to, and it took me a while to figure that out. It says, they are the ones who have dug themselves out of the dark and who have fought to turn every loss into a lesson. Well, bingo, I just said it, right? If we stop looking at things as a victim mentality, why me? Like, I can't believe this happened to me again. And, you know, childhood trauma is a thing, people, and everything falls back to your childhood. How you react to things, how you are, how you spend your money, how you are in relationships with people, how you interact with people at work, all stems from your childhood. And so you need to work on that. And it's not easy, but if you do it and you do the work, it's a lesson. And it's so rewarding once you look at them as lessons versus punishments. Then it says, the kindest people do not just exist, right? They don't. They choose to soften where circumstances have tried to harden them, right? I mean, I have so many rare autoimmune diseases, but if I didn't have them, I would be dead from my terminal cancer diagnosis that I survived. There aren't many people who can be, well, actually I know 2 people, but it just goes to show you about the medical field. I do know 2 people who were given, besides myself. So there's 3 people in existence that I personally know that have all been given terminal cancer diagnoses, but yet here we are 10, 20 years, 24 for me, 24 years cancer free. Rah, rah, shish kumbah. And you have to learn, right? I'm just learning. If I didn't have those autoimmune diseases, I would be dead. I'm not dead. And I have some autoimmune diseases as a trade-off. Sounds like a plan to me. I'll accept that deal gladly. They chose to believe in goodness because they have seen firsthand why compassion is so necessary. For me, it's growing up in a family of just, alcoholism and narcissism and everybody just being out for each other. I may have mentioned in the past, like in my family, nobody does things out of kindness because you're family. They might come around like that, but I'm old enough to know that if they're coming around and outreaching, there's a reason. And they will hold it over your head later and you will owe them something. And I knew my life lesson was that I wanted to not feel that way. I want to do things for people who need it. And I want to feel compassion for them. And I want to help them because I want to help them, not because I can get something out of them later. Just, it is. Like for me, I don't borrow money to anybody. I borrowed money from people in the past when a long time ago, when I suffered financially, I would borrow from somebody or whatnot and be like, I'm going to pay you back. And I'll tell you the most profound thing that sticks out in my memory is we were so broke. And I thought and this is way before I even, this is the beginning. Mr. Sith was still in school. I mean, we were struggling. And I needed $20. That was it. Like $20 for 5 days until we got paid. And I asked a friend and she was like, you know what? I'm going to give you $100. And I'm like, no, I can't pay $100 back. I don't have that in my budget. We don't even have a budget. I can't pay you that. And she goes, no. Shush. She shushed me. I'm not joking. And she said, I'm going to give you $100 and I want you to keep it. And I want you to use it with however it will help you get out of this situation. And I just thought, oh my gosh. Well, first I cried. Oh, I'm going to cry now. That's how important that moment was in my time. Holy cow, guys. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Not having a baby. Holy cow. Wow. Let me walk out of this one. Holy shoot, guys. Okay, so basically, wow. That meant so much to me. It was a changing moment in my life that is how I want to be in the future. I want to be able to help people without getting anything in return. And I want to go an extra step. Look at that. It's literally been 10 years and I'm literally bawling about it. It was that meaningful for me because we didn't have that stuff when I was a kid. That absolutely did not happen. So then, of course, I can't read my phone now because I have tears in my eyes. Oh, goodness gracious. They have seen firsthand why tenderness is so important in this world. And what did I just describe? That tenderness, that compassion from a friend who simply was like, I can give. You did not ask this for me, but it would make me feel better to give this to you to help you, but I don't want anything in return. Because this way, think about it, it didn't affect our friendship. She didn't hold anything against me. I was like, you're an amazing friend, and we're still friends today. That is outrageous, right? It was so just out of the park for me at the time that it literally shook me to my very core of values and beliefs and morals and ethics. I was like, I want to be that person. I'm not there, but I want to be there. And so we just started moving into it from then. And so I want to talk about a few things more, but I want to take a break, of course, for sponsor. So I need to do my endorsement, and then we'll be right back. Hey friends, I want to talk to you a little today about our sponsor, which is Pet Matrix. Pet Matrix is a premium canine supplement company, and I chose this company straight off the bat for Buster and Chica. Chica is a 15-year-old Shiba Inu, and Buster is a growing large breed Newfoundland, currently at 17 months. Every ingredient that Pet Matrix chooses has a targeted benefit for your dog. Their supplements deliver natural active ingredients through a revolutionary process that they call cell matrix delivery. By applying science and including bioactive peptides in their human-grade all-natural recipes, they're able to target a dog's specific needs, plus provide the benefit nature intended. Now, I use the Think for Chica and Buster. It is a cognitive and neural support supplement. I use the Protect for Buster as well, and that is an immune and gut support. And then I also use the Move for both of them, Chica being older and Buster with growing large bones, an anti-inflammatory and mobility support supplement. If you want to check out Pet Matrix, you can check them out at petmatrix.com. That's PETMATRX.com. And you can use Buster Sith at promo for 20% off. Again, that's Buster, BUSTER, Sith, SITH, no spaces, and get 20% off your order. Okay, we are coming back from a little break there. Thank you for hanging in there. And we're talking about being made of kindness today. And so I read that thing to you. We did that in the first break. If you didn't read it, welcome back. If not, go back, listen. You know the drill. You know the drill. I like choked on my own spit right there. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was, what are the benefits of being kind? And I'm going to tell you some things that I have personally experienced since, for these 2 years, I've been on this motto of leading with kindness. And it looks like being kind, okay, these are legit facts, okay, that have helped me. Being kind literally helps boost your immune system. I have not been hardly sick at all in the last 2 years. I get the occasional cold, that kind of stuff. But I mean, friends, I used to get sick every fall, every New Year's, and it put me in the hospital. And it just has not been that case. It reduces blood pressure and reduces stress, anxiety. This is the thing. Everyone's just like, Denise, whatever, like, be kind. The great thing about all this is that being difficult, or being kind, well, I don't even know where that came from. Oh my gosh. Rewind that. Let me say it again. The great thing is that it isn't difficult to be kind. That's it, right? So I have a quote from the Dalai Lama. He said, "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible." Think about that. I was like, hey, Dalai Lama, be kind whenever possible. It's always possible. I'm like, yeah, boom, mic drop right there. He ain't wrong. And I honestly believe that. I've really changed the circumstances where I felt like I would snap in the past because I remind myself, okay, we're not going to respond, Denise, like you normally would. You're going to respond by leading with kindness. And where's that going to get me? And I will tell you, it is so less stressful to lead with kindness. And it literally 100% of the time, I'm able to just walk away without any kind of episodes. It's amazing. What happens to your brain when you're kind? Okay, this blew my mind, no pun intended. But in addition to just basically boosting oxytocin and dopamine, everybody knows that, right? So when you are in a good mood and you are in good spirits, that means that you have a good level or a boost of oxytocin and dopamine. But being kind also increases serotonin, okay, which is a neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood. And so literally, if you're kind, here's me. I'm like, wow, I'm leading with kindness, which basically means that I'm making myself better and creating a better community around me at the same time. Like, boom, I'll take that. That's not a bad thing. I'm like, wow, yeah, I can do that. I could definitely do that. What does being kind kind of lead to? Okay, what would it do? Being kind, this is how it's changed me, has increased my self-esteem, my empathy and compassion, which I will say was a little rough on that in the past. I had zero empathy in the past, I'm going to be honest with you. But it increased my self-esteem, my empathy and compassion, and it has improved my mood, like I said it, okay? I don't have any blood pressure issues, but they say that it could decrease like blood pressure and cortisol, which is obviously directly related to stress levels. You know, that's kind of a given if you like live with anxiety and stuff like that. But people who give of themselves in a balanced way, which is really what I'm working on right now. Just giving myself to the community, to myself, to my family, to my friends in a balanced way are tending to be healthier and live long. And I will say, I have never felt better than I do at this age, which is 54 and a half. I'm taking that half. I'm taking the half. Now, how does being kind affect your mental health? Okay, we just talked about this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. Okay, I don't do any of that. This is just standard information. Okay, you can Google this stuff. You can look it up in a psychiatric today. You can look it up at Mayo Clinic online. It just whatever. I'm just sharing that in order how I feel, but in order to back that up, medical field also backs this up, that how I'm feeling and the changes I'm feeling are legitimately a change, because they say that kindness can increase your sense of connectivity with others, which I totally feel, decrease loneliness, combat low mood, and improve relationships. And here's the best part. It's also contagious. Yeah. Because if you encourage other people to join in with their own, just leading with kindness is what I do every episode. Okay. Because oxytocin, again, is the stress reducing chemical that's responsible for the positive effects of kindness. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's so beneficial. I know it's hard because when you have stress and anxiety, it's not always happy to be leading with kindness, right? It's not easy to do that. But sometimes we have to kind of step in and take control. We can't let our emotions rule us. And for a very long time, I let my anger and my emotion, anger and rage rule me. And it was just eating me alive from the inside out. It was horrible. And personally for me, I just felt like a need to be kind. Does that make sense? Like, I just felt it was time for me to just change. I was like, enough is enough. And there are studies that have found that acts of kindness are linked to increased feelings of well-being. Helping others can improve support networks, encourage us to be active. And that in turn improves our self-esteem. And I totally feel and see that. I totally see and feel that for myself. I really think it's been a huge step. Like my biggest step, like I'm always leading with kindness, but I'm always moving towards a deeper realm of kindness. For me, I've been doing it, but I want to get deeper into kindness. You can always work on being more. I still have my moments, but they're far and few in between. I want to submerge myself in kindness. And one of the things that I've noticed that has probably been the most remarkable change has been that sense of community, support networks. And for me, it was finally finding a church that really clicked for my community, for my family. And I really love it. For those of you who've been following, you know that I am a recovering Roman Catholic, and I don't agree with the Catholic Church. I don't want to identify as Catholic, but I still have strong roots to Christianity. And so in order to do that, I was trying to find a place where I could connect. I started looking for churches online, and we found one locally. We went through a couple before we found this one. And I love it. I absolutely love it. A lot of people have asked, and there's no shame in my game, I guess. But so our community is Willow Creek, and we love it. Absolutely love it. And so does Peter, so does Mr. Sith. And I really find a sense of community where I'm finding I want to do more at the church. Like I would never want to just volunteer to do something. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, it is not me. I'll do stuff for fun stuff, but like church, I would have been like, nope. But they just recently opened up a coffee shop inside the church, and it's from they use coffee from one of our local family roasteries, and they're called roasteries, right? I just made that word up, I think. Whatever, they should be called roasteries now. Family coffee shop, and that roast their own beans. And then we have a big coffee machine apparently that's going to be coming shortly, like in the fall. That's like scheduled to be upgraded with a big coffee machine and all this stuff. And so I get coffee there every week that I've been going. And I'm going to be super honest with you. It's horrible. It's horrible. The coffee is good because I know the coffee brand, so I know it's how they're making it. And they have a vanilla cold brew, and you can't mess that up, but they do, and it's horrible. And so I feel super called that like when this coffee machine comes, I need to run this coffee shop so it can legitimately be everything that it could be. And I'm going to lead it with kindness and with my love for coffee. Oh my gosh, that's where we're at today. I'll leave you with that. So you guys have an amazing Wednesday, and we'll talk to you on Saturday for another coffee talk. Until then, lead with kindness. Bye.